Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. Saturday morning, coffee kind of morning. I have to go get more coffee. I just ran out of coffee, so this is kind of a weak cup. Had just a little bit left, just enough to make a pot. Glenn Calloway must be watching me because I just had the Glenn Calloway sneeze when I was trying to do this video. Halfway through, and just, I curse you, Glenn Calloway. I love him. Don't worry about it. I love the guy. He's awesome. I want to continue my albums to discover series through Discog Shuffle, and feature this great album, Minute by Minute by the Doobie Brothers. A definite departure from their previous albums of the day, but on its own, an amazing album. I can't say it's my favorite. I prefer the earlier stuff, but I can't deny this. It's the success and the power of this album, and on its own, it's wonderful. So, a bit about the Doobie Brothers. American rock band from San Jose, California, formed in 1970. They've been around for over 5 decades in some form or other. The main staples of the band: Tom Johnson, guitar and vocals; Patrick Simmons, who's, I think, one of the remaining members of the band, the original members of the band. Michael McDonald, since about 1978, keyboards and vocals. John McPhee, guitars, pedal steel, and violin. Combination of rock, country rock, pop rock, some blues, a little bit of swamp music here and there, and awesome stuff. They've got a wide variety of musical style in their itinerary. Basically, the band's had 2 or 3 different eras, and different styles throughout their career. It's different when a player in the band is replaced. In most cases, their musical style continues. Minute by Minute is a case where they completely changed, I feel, anyway. I mean, there's still some rockers on there. There's still some great tunes, but the style of the music changed completely from their straight ahead rock and roll. So 1970 to 1975, their first era of the band, featured Tom Johnson on lead guitar and vocals. And he shared vocals with Patrick Simmons, of course. He's a great player, great singer, got that unique voice. Albums such as Toulouse Street, their second album, and there's Mr. Johnson there. I'm not going to open up the cover because it was photographed in a cat house, so a little bit of sensitive coverage going on there. Also featured new bassist Tyrone Porter and drummer Michael Hossack to add to already existing drummer John Hartman to give him that dual drum sound. Not too many bands had that sound. Of course, Tom Johnson on guitar and vocals, and Patrick Simmons on guitar and vocals. Big hit off off this album was "Listen to the Music" and "Jesus Is Just All Right," which both classic rock staples. My favorite, or one of my favorites, commercially successful "Captain and Me." I think the album that put them on the map. big hits like Long Train Running and China Grove. The album went 2 times platinum. You know, it's a great album. And then there's Stampede, another fine album by the band. Stampede is their 5th album. Big hits. Big hit off of it was "Take Me in Your Arms" and "Rock Me." It would be the final album to feature Tom Johnson. So this is where that end of the era starts and a new era begins. He'd be replaced by Michael McDonald, who was recommended through Jeff Skunk Baxter, who was in the band at the time. Him and Michael McDonald played together with Steely Dan and did a great job. I mean, I've got quite a few Skunk Baxter guitar parts in Steely Dan. Amazing guitarist in his own right. But Jeff Skunk Baxter suggested that Michael McDonald fill in for Tom Johnson. They were just on the edge of a major tour to support the Stampede album that I just showed you. Michael McDonald, obviously agreed, and the rest is history. Tom Johnson had to leave the band at the time, just before the Stampede, or the tour to promote the Stampede concert, because he developed major stomach ulcers and was severely ill and ended up in the hospital. And of course, during his convalescent period, that's when Michael McDonald stepped in and filled his shoes. Big shoes to fill, but I think he did an amazing job. So the album Minute by Minute, this one here, there's Jeff Skunk Baxter, of course Michael McDonald, and Patrick Simmons and the rest of the band. Kind of an odd, the only ones that look happy are Patrick Simmons and this guy over here. But anyway, so it's the 8th studio album by the band, with a newly formed lineup and released in 1978. Obviously the first without Tom Johnson, and the last to feature guitarist Jeff Skunk Baxter and drummer John Hartman. They both left the band after this album. Definitely a left turn for the band, as I said previously, to go from the rockin' albums that I just showed you to this form of music. Was a more of a smooth rock sound. Don't get me wrong, there's still some rockers on it, and I'll talk about those in just a second. But I prefer the previous albums over this one, if I had to compare all the albums together. But I don't do that. I look at albums individually, and I think this is an amazing album. You can't deny the success of it. And it was almost, I feel, a debut album by the band. Or it could have been a Michael McDonald band solo album with the Doobie Brothers backing them up. That type of feel. Huge hits off it, like What a Fool Believes and Minute by Minute. 87 weeks on the Billboard's 200. And in 1978 was the best-selling album in that era for 5 weeks. Certified 3 times platinum. Grammy for Album of the Year. Sorry, for Band of the Year, and a runner-up for Album of the Year. There's also some great tracks on it by Patrick Simmons as well. Some were co-written with Michael McDonald, but he had his chance to shine. He's a great player, a great singer, got that unique voice. Again, Depending on You, Don't Stop to Watch the Wheels, and Sweet Feelin'. It's a great album, and it's definitely on its own an album to discover. And if you don't know the Doobie Brothers, which I'm sure you all do because you're so knowledgeable, check these guys out. And I want to get, there's another one by them with Michael McDonald. The third era I didn't get into because I don't have anything from that era, but there was definitely 3 eras to the band. And perhaps a little later on I'll discuss that when that time comes. But that's my album to discover. Hope you enjoyed. A little bit of history about the band. Some great albums that I've been listening to over the last little while. And let's see what's on the next shuffle. This is the fun part. So again, there's my albums there. Nothing's listed. I go up here to hit the random item button. Oh, Abracadabra, Steve Miller Band. Awesome. Awesome. That's going to be my next album to discover. Steve Miller's a great player. Been around for a long time. And awesome player, awesome singer, awesome songwriter as well. Anyway, have yourself a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye now.